Program is founded with the goal of reaching space. Astronaut Jebediah Kerbin poses in front of his untitled spacecraft, who broke the atmosphere at 70,000 meters. The Kerbal Space Center was upgraded en how, putting down a paved runway ready for flight. The research and development team focuses on aeroplanes as the next contracts want temperature and crew reports. As the sun rises on day 1, 4 hours and 40 minutes, the Kerbals look forward to the friendly skies. What secrets does the land beyond hold? Stay tuned to find out.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saki here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the Breaking Ground DLC, and a little bit of a newsreel to get you caught back up to what we did in the last episode. We got a lot of science and focused on our airplane parts, as Mr. Newsman said, and today we do have several contracts that we want to fulfill. Looking out at the area near the Space Center, we can see that Dingleston's oversight. We need below 19.6K there, below 19K, above 16K, above 17K, above 18K, and above 16K. So we want an airplane that can fly around 18,000 meters in all of these locations. We also have one out here above 16K with some different things that we have to do. Temperature readings, crew reports, that sort of thing. And we can complete all these contracts probably in one flight. So let's get to the plane hangar and see if I can build something that can get us into the friendly skies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here and we have our plane. It's kind of a plane, but I am bringing a Science Junior just to get some experiments, but as you can see with our contracts, we need to take crew reports, which is the cockpit, and pressure readings. So Valentina should be up for the job. We've got our elevators here, we've got jet engines, and 55,000 meters per second of delta V. I pulled all the oxidizer out of this, so let me just make sure that there is no oxidizer anywhere else, because we're not planning on leaving the atmosphere today, so why weigh down the plane with stuff we don't need? And I think we are ready to go, so let's go ahead and launch.
Valentina Kerbin, this is Tower. You are clear for takeoff.
All right, Valentina is happy. We have tower clearance, we'll be taking off to the east. The first stop on our flight should be probably this guy here to Dinkleston's Oversight. That is the first one, so that should be on our nav ball. What do we need to do for Dinkleston's Oversight? A crew report in flight below 19,600, so we can cruise probably at around 10K or whatnot. See if we can get ourselves off the runway and in the air. All right, here we go. Camera on. Brakes are off. 3, 2, 1. All right. Airspeed alive. 40. Pitch up. Beautiful. SAS on because Valentina is a pilot. Yeah, we can go quarter. Oh crap, our ailerons. Oh yeah, we're an airplane. We pitch up. Oh man, it's been a while since I flew an airplane, but it feels pretty stable. Valentina is doing the work. We also brought a communitron over here so we can send the reports wirelessly over the radio, and then we won't have to worry about bringing all of this stuff back. We'll get credit for it right away. So yeah, feeling pretty good. Feels nice and stable. Everything is working well. Fuel consumption is negligible. So let's go ahead and head on over to Dinkleston's Oversight at a altitude below 16K. And all right, Valentina, full throttle, and let's cruise. All right, we are in Dinkleston's Oversight right here. We need to do a crew report, I believe. All right, crew report. All right, collecting survey data from Dinkleston's Oversight. I can see my house from here, I think. If we transmit, we get 100% back. No comms. No, we've got comms. Why we know? Transmit data. Unable to deploy. Deployment would destroy part. All right, so looks like we got to slow down, I assume. That's a little awkward. But since we are holding steady here, let's actually build up the throttle just a bit so we're not losing that much speed. There we go. Now we can head to the map mode and find our next destination. Should be the Fluid Dynamics Research Labs. All right, so there we go. We got to be above 16.8K. So all Valentina is going to have to do some climbing, which it looks like she is. Hopefully these engines are okay. And we're going to have to turn a little bit to our north. So onward and upward to the next one. Bad news, Valentina. We don't have the wing spread in order to get to the higher altitudes, probably nor the engine. So we need to build something a little bit bigger to get over the 16K hump. Is there anywhere else we can go that isn't above? So that's above, that's above, that's above, that's above, and that's above. All right, Kerbal Space Center, we're coming back. I mean, a successful mission in the fact that we have achieved flight. It's not successful in the fact that we need to be able to go much, much higher than this little plane is able to. But more wing spread and more engines, more power should do it. And do we want to put on a booster? Maybe, possibly. I also can figure out why this communicatron, maybe the satellite dish is a little bit more resilient, let's say. Because if we were to open up the antenna now, it would rip off. So either we shield it, maybe by putting it on the back of the craft, you know, out of the air. That might be cool. Or, yeah, we'll just finagle with that. So I will see you for the landing.
Kerbal Tower, Valentina Kerman, you are clear to land.
All right, there is our landing clearance coming down into the Kerbal Space Center. Runway is directly on the 90, so as long as we're pointing east, we should be okay. Let's give it some yaw and get her lined up right on the runway. We're bleeding off speed. This will be the first time I've ever landed this craft, so hopefully things work out for us here. We're going to do sort of a low, shallow approach, build up that speed. How's our generator? There we go. So we spool up the engines to about 25%. We won't run out of electric charge, which is good. We want to make sure all of our parts are working upon touchdown. That is for sure. And we don't have any air brakes to bleed off speed. It's a little bit of an oversight on my part. But we can pitch up, bleed off a lot of speed there. Nice to see that is structurally sound. All right, runway in sight. Here we come. Throttle is completely cut. There is the ground, and we should be able to set down nice and easy, real respectable like. Pitch up, pitch up, pitch up. Sort of bleed off all your speed here and let Sir Isaac Newton slow the plane down. Slipping just a little bit. All right. A successful day. Valentina lives to see another day. So yeah. I stalled out and got myself into trouble, but at least we're getting the crew report back and Valentina. We gained a little bit of science, so now it's back to the old drawing board. Once I recover these debris parts, we got some money back for them, outstanding. So I will work on a much bigger plane that hopefully can achieve the 16K we so need and desire. All right, not the prettiest looking plane, but I did add some wing space, and I also added a little bit of a Terrier engine. I figure turning this rocket on for a little bit of a boost can get us above the line we need. Then we can just cut it and be good to go. The next step is this dang communicatron that doesn't work. We'll go ahead and replace it with a, let's see, a tolerant surface mount version of the communicatron. Do we put it on the sides, perhaps? I mean, we could try something like that. Double communicatron. All right, let's see what this one will do. We'll save that and launch it. Valentina will set her course. And we'll see if this little Terrier engine does the work for us here. All right, next step, that's above 18K, and that's above the, let's see. All right, so Goliath National Products, and we need what above Goliath? 25Q? Yep, that's the one. We need a pressure reading. Okay, so we are going to have to get our barometer ready to go. All right, Valentina. Let's light this candle. All right, hopefully we still have some pitch and yaw authority with those ailerons. Getting up to speed here. Nope! Alright, so that's going to be a problem. We're a bit too wide on that engine. Brakes, 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 brakes. Emergency stop. We're going to run out of runway. We're going to run out of land. Alright, next iteration we put the pivot point a little bit further back so as it rotates it might not slam into the ground. So we'll see how this one does. Alright, Valentina, off you go to Kerbal Space Center. Alright, so hopefully it'll pitch up without weeble wobbling. Yeah, the wheels need to be under the center of mass, and unfortunately they're too far back. We should be okay when we fly off the edge of the runway though. I mean, it's kind of a bad deal to count on the runway to be your lift, but there we go. And landing is going to be a tad bit difficult, I think. All right, let's set our course to zone 25Q. And head on up. Now we need to be almost vertical here. So hopefully these engines have the thrust to get us up there. We have some wingspan now to catch some more of this atmosphere. But it's going to all rely on that rocket. Now we're not using much oxidizer, and we may not have to use much of this Terrier engine to get the job done. So we'll go 50% on that thrust, just to see if we can climb a little bit. Yeah, we're kind of slip sliding, so it's just south of those islands that we're heading to. Can we pitch up just a little bit more? No, it looks like we're failing. I'll tell you what. All right, so that engine's not doing much. Get it going vertical as much as we can. As long as we don't bleed too much speed. There we go. The little Terrier engine is doing the work. And we are picking up speed and altitude. We need to be above, what, in 25Q? An atmospheric above 18,000. All right, so we need to double our altitude. But we do have a nice positive climb. So feeling pretty good. We're not losing much speed. All right, Valentina, let's get it going. All right, we've entered the zone 25Q, but we are not over 18. If we can continue to climb, which I hope we can. Yeah, we just don't have the wing speed. I mean, some more wings might not be too awful bad. We've got the pitch up. We're at 15K. We only need 3 more thousand, but we are slowly losing our vertical speed. Yeah, I don't think this plane is going to work. Next iteration of our space plane, ladies and gentlemen, we have put a swivel on the back and given ourselves plenty of oxidizer to fire that engine. So we'll be using the jets. Oh, check your staging. We're going to be using the jets to get airborne and up to a good level, and then we'll just use that jet or the rocket engine to boost us up past the 18K that we need. So here we go, Valentina. Jet engines on. Let's get rolling and get to zone 25Q. All right, igniting our little swivel engine in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Good positive rate. Hopefully we can get above 18K. I think with the swivel we'll be okay. It's got good gimbling, so we should be fine to get above it. As long as we keep climbing at the 45. And then we can just cut the engine and let the plane settle and be off on our next adventure. All right, engines are cut. Let's go ahead and log the pressure data. Collecting zone survey. Go ahead and transmit. Not enough electric charge. Okay, well, we can get that electric charge back. Don't you worry, don't you fret. All right, so we'll shut down that engine, and we'll come on back down to Kerbin. And then once our jet engines come back online, we can finish that upload. All right, next part. We can go over here to the Rocco Max conglomerate. We'll go ahead and set our sights on that, and I will be right back. All right, entering area site 09 TGR. Let's activate the engine and get above that 16.7 that we so need and desire. Pretty much going straight vertical, or at least 45 degrees. And then once we reach 16.7, we'll cut the engines, or at least the rocket. The jet engines will die on their own. Then we can coast back to the Kerbal Space Center. All right, shut it down. Crew report. Nice, collecting sight and transmit the data. All right, so that is another contract done. We are going to turn around, get back to the Kerbal Space Center. There's the flame out. And do the last few contracts. Only a few more to go. All right, Valentina's got the runway in sight. Coming down nice and easy. Plenty of fuel left. And hopefully we fare better than the last time we tried to land. Electric charge should do us good. That was only supporting the reaction control surfaces. And we're bleeding off speed nice and easy. We're a little bit cross-winded. See if we can put in some rudder here. All right, looking good, looking good. Just letting that speed bleed off. All right, we might run out of runway here, but easy, Valentina. Touchdown. Hard on the brakes. Brakes, 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 brakes. SAS off. This is where some reversers would do us good. Turn us back to the runway, please. Yeah, the braking force is not too good on this, but we are slowing down. 44 meters, 42, 41, 30. Using the grass just a bit. I think we might be rolling downhill. We might nose into the ground a bit. But that is all well and good. So a little bit more of a runoff area. We could definitely use some parachutes, but not a bad way to go, if I do say so myself, and I do. So now that we've got refueled and refitted, we can head on up to the last few bits. Jebediah cleared for takeoff. I added a battery, and I also added those parachutes right there in the center of mass. Hopefully ready to slow this thing down when we do set down next time. But Jebediah is at the controls, and we should get a liftoff soon. And we're going to start peeling north. So let's go ahead and flip on over, and I will see you at the next objective. All right, entering the area. Let's Let's go ahead and fire up the rocket engine, get to the 45 degree. We need to climb quite a bit. We need to get above 17.3. So we're almost going to go vertical here. We're continuing to gain speed, which is all well and good. Really let that swivel engine do the work. There we go, and let's just get to the approach vector here. And cut it. All right, pressure above 17.3. Nice, collecting survey. And transmit. Nice. So that's one next step done. Next part is right here above 16.8. So let's go ahead and head on over there, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, entering the zone, and booyah. We got some pivot authority, and up we go. We need to get up to 16.3. Here we go, Jebediah, get up to that 45 if you so please. Use the power of the rockets. We'll need another pressure reading. And then once we get there, we'll be able to basically just flip right back around and head right back there to the Kerbal Space Center. 15, 16. Log the pressure data. We'll cut that engine. Transmit, might as well. All right, so that is another contract done. Now we're getting a lot of, bonus reputation, but not a whole lot of science, if any. But some experience for our pilots, and to prove that we, there's our flame out, to prove that we belong in space now that we have an aeronautics program. So yeah, we'll just pitch right on over and spin around and head back to the Kerbal Space Center, where we can give these parachutes a go. Leave it to Jebediah to be coming in for a landing at Mach 1 or greater, but we have cut the throttle. We are bleeding some of our speed, and hopefully we will be down at a safe enough speed by the time he gets to the runway here to deploy the parachute. So that's going to be our goal here. Plenty of electric charge. We're at 149 of 150, and we're bleeding off that speed. Especially when we start pulling up and leveling out here, we should be fine. As a matter of fact, it says that the parachutes are good to go. So we'll just continue to bleed speed. We are right on target as far as the runway goes. We shouldn't even really need to flare too awful much because we've got those parachutes working for us. We are starting to get a little bit sideways. Let's come down on the runway nice and even, Jebediah. Easy does it, Jebediah. Here we go. Parachutes out. Really slowing us down. And okay, that did not have the results that I thought. So maybe Valentina is a more safe pilot, but Jebediah is the go for broke pilot. But that is all well and good. So in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to go to space. We got a little bit of science there. We've got a little bit of money. Reputation is high. But let's take a look at mission control and see what we need to do. So temperature surveys of Kerbin in several different places. Test the decoupler between 30,000 meters and 38,000 meters. I really don't like these specific, pigeonhole thing, because it might not, it's very odd or very rare that you are in this zone. Let's see, 1,000 to 8,000, 80 to 216. I mean, maybe. But I think for now, what we will do is we've got a few contracts on the board, but the most important is to orbit Kerbin. So in the next episode, we are going to try to get above 70K. That's going to be our goal. I'll see if we can take any researches here. What is all of that? I didn't accept that contract, did I? No, above sector P48G. Okay, so this is going to show us if we were to accept that contract, what would happen. What is that? That's, on the back side of the world. Holy crap. Altitude on the surface. Yeah, I have no idea what that's going to do, but I do know in the next episode we are going to try to hit above 70K and get our first ship in orbit. But that will do it for me and this episode of Kerbal Space Program. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next Kerbal Space Program video. Take care.